Judgment, original meaning versus lost meaning. Part E, how to judge biblically, 1 Corinthians 5:12, Galatians 6:1. After exploring the original meanings of judgment, from Jesus' warnings against hypocrisy to God's role as judge and deliverer, we now arrive at the practical question: how should believers judge today? Scripture gives us clear guidance. Judgment in the church must be biblical, humble, and restorative, always leaving the final verdict to God. Paul addressed this directly in 1 Corinthians 5:12. For what have I to do to judge them also that are without? Do not ye judge them that are within? Here Paul draws a sharp boundary. Believers are not called to sit in judgment over the unbelieving world. That is God's domain. But within the household of faith, discernment and accountability are necessary. The church cannot turn a blind eye to unrepentant sin among its members. Judgment within the body is not about condemnation, but about protecting holiness and calling one another back to truth. At the same time, Paul balances this with the principle of gentleness. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Galatians 6:1. This sets the tone. Biblical judgment is never rooted in pride or harshness, but in love that seeks restoration. The goal is not to cast someone out forever, but to bring them back into fellowship with God and His people. Finally, James reminds us of the ultimate perspective. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another? James 4:12. We may exercise judgment within the church for the sake of holiness and restoration, but the final and eternal judgment belongs to God alone. He alone has the authority to render the ultimate verdict over every soul. When held together, these principles restore the balance of biblical judgment. We must avoid the extremes, neither the hypocrisy of condemning others while ignoring our own sin, nor the passivity of refusing to confront evil. Instead, we are called to judge rightly with humility, discernment, and love, always mindful that we too stand in need of God's grace. In the end, judgment in the hands of God's people is not a weapon of destruction, but a tool of restoration. True judgment protects the body, restores the fallen, and points all eyes to the day when the righteous judge will set every matter right.